The sound of climbing continued. Teo looked at his drawing of Saxon on the cave wall. It was the best around, the best that he'd ever done for show. But quickly, he reached down and picked up a handful of soot and moss and rubbed out his image. Then he gathered up all his chalk and charcoal. Together with his slate, he hid them under his bearskin robe. And he sent Ram to the back of the cave and made him lie down in the darkness. Silently, Teo crept to the entrance and peered out. He saw no one, yet the sound of falling stones kept getting closer and closer. Wolf Dog whimpered. Quiet, Ram, Teo repeated. He glanced around the cave. If the climber was Volt or one of the hunters, he would find no trace of his drawings or clay sticks. The boy pressed himself against the damp wall, gripping his spear tightly. Then he saw fingers reaching out, grasping at the side of the entrance. It was an old man, Weathered Hand himself, gnarled and wrinkled. Teo heard the deep hacking cough, and boy did he have a wave of relief. It was only old GB Graybeard himself. A moment later, the old man stepped into the mouth of the cave, and he was breathing heavily and leaned against the back of the wall as he tried to catch his breath. Ram came out of the darkness and sniffed at the old man's sandals. We are happy to see you, said Teo. And we are glad that you're not one of the hunters. Gosh. Graybeard smiled back. I came from above. His voice was wheezing. Only now I cannot find a way to climb, and I cannot climb as well as I used to. He stopped to catch his breath. I go to the camp of the mountain people, and I thought I'd stop here for the night. Well, good call. We have food and water, said Teo. You're always welcome in my cave. The boy put some wood on the fire. They speared chunks of salmon and long sticks. They broiled them over hot flames, and the coals went sizzle. They did the same for part of a duck that Teo had caught the day before. After their delicious broiled salmon and duck dinner, they ate some dried ground plums and drank cockleshells full of birch tea. When they had finished, Teo picked up the bearskin robe, uncovering the chalk sticks and the sketch of the bull. Guess what? I've seen Saxon, he said. And I was drawing his image when you came in. Graybeard looked at the slate stone, studying the sketch. Huh, this image is good. Now try again, and I will watch. Slowly, Teo picked up one of the chalks. His hand shook. He knew it was because he was working in front of the master. However, he began to draw, copying from the sketch. He did well with the head and body, but when it came to the legs, oof, his hand would not obey. Once again, he felt anger well up inside of him, and for a moment he wanted to throw the chalk against the wall. You must be patient, said Graybeard. The eye and the hand will learn to become one, but it takes time. He took the chalk from Teo and dropped it on the cave floor. Then he picked up a stick of charcoal and started to draw, showing the boy how to join the legs to the shoulder and hip. Teo watched closely. When he had finished, the old man rubbed out the drawing with a handful of moss. He handed the charcoal to Teo. Now start over. The black will make a better outline. And this time, do not trust your memory, but let your hand be guided by the lines of your sketch. Teo took the charcoal and started again. Line by line, he drew another picture of the bull as Greybeard looked on. The old man nodded. "Ah, yes," he said. "That's good. You're learning. Draw as much as you can, but always remember to rub out your pictures when you're through. Maybe you will teach me often?" asked Teo. "I'll learn quicker that way." The old man shook his head gruffly. "You press too hard, boy. I tell you again, you're not a chosen one. I've already done more than I should." Teo knew that he had angered the old man again. He spoke under his breath. "I didn't think you believed in taboos." Huh. But the old man heard him. That may be," he snapped. "Yet even a shaman must obey the laws of the clan and accept the beliefs of the people." He tugged on his beard. "I've given you permission to draw, and I'm sorry that you don't think that's enough." He rubbed his eyes with the back of his hand. "Now it's schlepping time. Tomorrow I have a long road ahead of me. I take the long way home." Teo's face felt hot. He had not meant to, but he had offended the master. The next morning, Greybeard and Teo went on across the valley. The grazing herds of antelope and horses raced by as they approached. They walked all morning, and when they came to the river, the old man stopped. He looked down at the boy with a thin smile on his lips. "You know what? I changed my mind. Perhaps the old shaman had become a fool. But I will help you." Teo looked up, his eyes as wide as golf balls. "Yes?" said Greybeard. "I will come back. I will show you how to draw and paint. I will show you how to mix brushes and colors. I will tell you how to find firestones, and I will also tell you how to read the stars." Teo was simply dazed. He hardly knew what to say. You would show me how to do magic?" "Yes, that too. But you must use it for good and never for evil." Teo nodded and stood up straight. "Only for good," he said. "Then I will show you. But I cannot tell you that you will ever be the chosen one." Teo felt a warm glow of hope. Never did he think that such good fortune would find him. "We must do this in secret," said Greybeard. "I will find a hidden place. Then you and Ram will come." "Oh, when?" asked Teo. "Where will it be?" The old man shook his head, frowning again. "You must not push so hard. Have patience, young Padawan. When I am ready, I'll let you know." "But how will I find you?" "By magic, of course," said Greybeard, his blue eyes shining. Teo did not wish to anger the old man again, yet he did not want to lose his chance. "And I will know this magic?" Greybeard smiled. "When the time is right, you will know." "But—" The old man held up his hand. "No, no, 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 no. No more questions. I have to take the long way home. I have a long journey ahead, and I'm going to go down to the stream and cross the river at the shallows. There, you can't follow me." So Greybeard walked away, hunched over, coughing badly. Tail watched him disappear through the trees. He knelt down and threw his arms around the wolf's dog's shoulder. Just think of it, Rob. Soon I'm going to be a true image maker.